Quest Audiobooks present an unabridged recording of Anthony by Beverley Watts, narrated by Christopher Tester, Charlie Sanderson, Mark Elstob, and Eilidh Beaton. Chapter 1. Anthony Shackleford had long been acquainted with the word duty. Indeed, since the moment he could walk, it had been drummed into him every Friday, between the hours of 2 and 4 in the afternoon, accompanied by tea and Mrs. Tomlinson's apple cake. His mother was especially partial to apple cake. The essence of his obligation was this. The Duke of Blackmore could not be expected to keep his in-laws into their twilight years, though God knew if his mother continued to take her revolting tinctures, she'd be unlikely to reach her mid-afternoon years, let alone the twilight ones. And despite the fact that his sisters had all made extremely advantageous marriages, as the only son, it was his job to ensure his parents a comfortable dotage. In all honesty, Anthony doubted his father had any intention of sliding gracefully into boring old age, although the loss of his faithful foxhound Freddie 3 years earlier had certainly taken its toll. So, for the most part, his duty had always appeared very simple. Marry an heiress, preferably with a title. Simple, that is, until he got to Eton and learned about the class system. In fairness, he didn't so much learn of it than have it beaten into him. At least in the beginning. Fortunately, his connection to the Duke of Blackmore ensured that nothing was broken aside from his pride. As he got older, he also learned how to defend himself until the bullies decided he was no longer worth their trouble. It helped that he was an affable young man, always ready to kick up a lark, and well liked by those of his peers who were less hidebound by tradition. A riot of hair the colour of burnished copper, and eyes that could deflower a virgin with just a single look, according to the numerous maids who regularly fought to clean his room, one would be right in assuming he was also well liked by members of the opposite sex. There was one thing that set Anthony apart from many of his fellows, aside from his fondness for causing mostly harmless mischief, and that was an inexplicable urge to defend and protect. Mayhap because the word duty that had been so thoroughly drummed into him, he was entirely unable to remain aloof from the problems and misfortunes of any man, woman or child, or indeed animal with whom he came into contact. Naturally, in the intervening year since leaving Eton, such a disposition ensured he was rarely without company, either on 2 legs or 4. And now, here he was, 26, propping up the wall on the edge of his brother-in-law's ballroom, eyeing the first crop of young ladies being wheeled out for...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?